What's going on, guys? 8BitGlitch79 here. It's a rainy Saturday, so what's the best thing to do? Game hunting. Now, there's a con happening down in Connecticut about 2 hours south of me. It's called FRAGCon 2019. First heard about it from Russ Lyman in one of his streams. He was talking to somebody in the chat about it. So I figured I'd go check out and see what it's about. It says it has tournaments, vendors, free PlayStations, and stuff like that. So figure let's go check it out. And while we're down there, I'm staying the night, and we're going to do some other game hunting at some stores, maybe some thrifting, see what treasures we can find. So stay tuned for FRAGCon 2019. So this is me coming into FRAGCon 2019. This here is the booth I bought most of my stuff from, which at the end of the video will be showing my pickups. But FRAG stands for the Federation of Retro and Arcade Gamers, and they seek to unite gamers through events and competition. The hope is to create a community of video gamers. These events are a place to share the nostalgia and make new memories competing together. Plain and simple, FRAG is about having fun playing games and sharing the enjoyment with each other. So here you're seeing the setup of all the competitions. These tables here in the circle was the Retro Challenge. They had various games set up, anywhere from, they had Kaboom for the Atari, Commando on the NES, Life Force, and more. Here's Russ Lyman's booth. I got to meet him. I was a big fan of his YouTube channel. I'll have it linked below in the description. But I didn't get any footage of his car other than some pictures, which I'll be showing shortly here. And over here's the picture of me and Russ, and a few pics of his car. And while this is showing some of the other games in the Retro Challenge, I might have mentioned Life Force, Super Mario Land for the Game Boy, Alex Kidd on the Sega Genesis, Adam's Family for the Super Nintendo, Glover for the N64, Star Winder for the PlayStation 1, Custom Robo for the GameCube, and more. Here's just the back side of the competition. Over there on the right was Smash Brothers. They had a Smash Brothers tournament, they had a Tekken tournament, and they had a Mario Kart tournament as a separate ones. Here you can see a PlayStation 2 setup, Xbox 360, and they had there's people in the black shirts with the staff or the referees at each station to tally people's score. Some of the challenges that they had, for example, was like for Kaboom, it was score points before game over, and if you got 1,500 or more points, you got 10 total points in your score, and so on. You got 1 point for at least trying each game. Stuff like Commando was rescue as many POWs before losing all your lives. Life Force, score points before the game over. No Konami code allowed. So here's just some more shots of the retro games that were set up. And there's a little YouTube inception with Russ Lyman. So it was a fun event. I got to meet a lot of different people, had a lot of great conversations with a lot of different people, from the staff to the participants, and of course with Russ. It was very, very fascinating to hear the conversations of different people, from people who grew up with these games, and then the people who they're kind of new to them because they weren't born during those times, but they really enjoyed those. Here's a booth that was selling card and board games, and I couldn't believe how expensive board games can be. It was pretty crazy. I'm not much of a board game player. I was when I was a kid, but not so much as an adult. Here's the a little bit more of Russ's booth. He does these cool art projects where he finds old art from thrift stores, and he'll paint characters on them. It's pretty cool. This is another vendor from Video Game Castle. Their prices were okay, but the other booth was a lot better. This is an artist who's pretty good. That's the artist's friend. I don't see the artist in the shot here, but he had some really great art, and I'll have his stuff linked below. You can find him on Instagram, I believe, and on Etsy. I did end up purchasing one, which I'll show in my pickups at the end of the video here. But they had a Smash Brothers on the Switch set up, and they had a little competition. If you could beat the artist, you could buy one art, get one free. If you beat the friend, oh, it's right there. I can't remember. You beat Tony, you get 1 plus free. If you beat Max, you get like $5 off. And he was doing sketches on site. I watched him draw one for somebody, and it was really cool to see him work. It's really great stuff. I'm thinking of contacting them to see if you can do a Contra poster for me actually. So this was a very small event, but I think it was great. It got me a chance to really talk to a lot of different people and make a lot of good connections. This is Retrocade Games. That's where I bought all my video games and controllers from. He had some really great stuff and some really good prices. In fact, I bought stuff after the convention from him online. That was the convention's booth. They were selling t-shirts and some Perla art. And this was another YouTuber. Don't recall his name off the top of my head. I have to find his card. But if I can find it, I'll have his information below. So that was pretty much FRAGCon 2019. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed that walk around and little introduction about the conference that I went to, the FRAGCon. I believe I'm filming this before I edit, of course, so I'm hoping that I did a little bit more explaining about what it's about while you were watching the walkthrough. But I figured I'd end this video with a little bit of pickups. So, as I probably might have mentioned in the walkthrough, there was one vendor I bought basically the majority of my stuff from, as far as video games go. I did buy a piece of artwork from the artist that was there. In fact, you know what? I'll show that first. Let's see. So Castlevania is one of my absolute favorite games, actually series. But this here is what I got. You probably saw it in the walkthrough. It's the Castlevania. I got Belmont here. And what artist said he did was he took inspiration from I got reflection of my monitor there. There we go. He took the influence of Super Metroid. When you beat the bosses, it would build that statue of all the bosses kind of mixed all together. So he did that with the bosses of the first Castlevania. So you got like, let's see, the bat down here, Medusa, the two mummies, Frankenstein with a little hunchback guy. Of course, you got Death up there. And then you got Dracula's eyes up at the top, staring down. So this is really cool. The frame didn't come with it. I just put it in this frame that I had to keep it protected. I might get a better one for it. It fits a little bit better because you've seen a little bit of the white there. But yeah, it's really cool. I'm sorry about the reflection of the monitor there. I'm using it as light for the camera. So that's cool. I'll have his information down below if you want to check out. Real quick, I'll just flash this up here. But this is it here. It's probably backwards in the camera. I gotta get better with this camera stuff. But it'll be all down in the description. So, like I said, there was one vendor there that I bought most of my stuff from because he was not like a storefront per se. He was kind of just selling his collection. So he had some really good prices. I bought a lot of like filler NES titles. Basically, I probably went to him like 3 different times and got stuff just because, as you can see, he was pretty much the only vendor there. So I got a bunch of stuff here. Let's see. Again, this is just filler stuff, and like prices like like $3 for this. Can't beat it. Defender of the Crown. I don't even know like anything much about this game. It's an Ultra game, which we all know Ultra is basically Konami. It was a way for Konami to make more games and get around Nintendo's limitation, so they could release more. So that's why Turtles was on Ultra, but Turtles is really a Konami game. So there was that. I got $2, and these say like $2 and stuff like that. To the Earth. Again, I don't know much about it, but I know I didn't have it, and for $2, why not, right? But you know, I would put a bundle together and then say, "What can you do?" And he would always knock off a bunch off. So, I mean, I think with this first bundle, the filler NES, I basically got 1, maybe 2 games for free almost. This is a $3 one. This is Kung Fu Heroes. Looks kind of interesting. Again, these ones I don't know much about. That's what I love about the NES system. I mean, to this day, I'm still finding games I never heard of or played. This next one, this seems to be like in everybody's collection, but I still hadn't had it yet. So, because I was waiting to get it like cheap because I didn't know if I'd like it, and it's for $3. Top Secret Episode Golgo 13. Sorry, I think the camera's filming everything backwards. My bad. I'll have to figure that out. But then this one here. Oh, I'll say that. I think that was a second batch. Again, I might have mentioned in one of my VGM unboxings, I'm trying to get all the black box games. So here's Urban Champion. He had it marked as $5, and it has the manual. Whoop, the manual with it. So, and a sleeve. So can't beat that with a stick. You know what I mean? So I think I'm like 6 or 7 games away from the complete black label. It's getting to the more pricier ones now, of course. Here's a $3. The Secret Scroll Flying Dragon. If anybody's played these or think they're really good, let me know in the comments. But I'm definitely going to obviously check them out myself anyways. But yeah, definitely let me know. Back label's a little messed up on that one, but who cares about that? The front label is mint, so it's good. And then I think this was part of the first bundle I did. Rock and Ball. I've heard of this one. I never played it. That was marked as $2. Rock and Ball. So, and these are super clean. I mean, they are like, look like as good as the day they were made. It's amazing. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 came out to like 6, 7, 8. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. It's like 21, but I think he's owed to me for like 18 or something like that. So not bad. I got like a game free or something. That was cool. Then I went, let's see, I went back again, and that was this time. It was this. Yeah, I guess, no, not these. That goes with that. I got 2 GBA games here that I didn't have. I've been always wanting to try. I don't have much in the way of like Game Boy games and handheld games like that because I was never really big. I had a Game Boy and I still have the Game Boy I had since a kid, but I had the Gargoyle's Quest. That was my first game, which is like super, I think, expensive now for some reason. But that, I still have that, and I only have a couple games, and then same with the Game Boy Advance. I maybe got like a handful. Just portable gaming wasn't a big thing for me. I just loved console gaming more. But so I'm starting to get into some of the games now. But I had to get this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's for the Game Boy. That was like $4 or $5. And then the second one he had, that one's marked 5 there. But that second one. And then I'm a sucker when it comes to controllers. Especially the weirder, the better. You'll see, because this is pickups from the convention, but I stopped at a couple of stores on my way, through the town. There's a couple of stores there. But I saw these and had to get them. This is like, I don't even know what company it is. It's the high frequency Super Nintendo controller, I guess. It's like an advantage, like the Super Nintendo advantage, but in handheld form, because you got like the turbos and the slow motion, but you just don't have the joystick. So I thought that's pretty cool. So I'm the suck. I just love collecting controllers. It's like a sickness. I don't know what it is. And then he had pretty much a matching Genesis one here. It's kind of similar, but for Genesis. And that was marked $4. So it was like, let's see, $6, $4, $5, and $4. He knocked like $5 off this, so I basically got like that Turtles 2 game for free. So that was a good deal. That was awesome. Running out of space here. Don't mind my room, by the way. It's in the midst of being reorganized and turned into a legitimate game room at the moment. It's a slow process. When you got 2 kids, a wife, and a full-time job, it takes time to get things done, as probably people know. Sorry, I'm looking around and not paying attention. I'm trying to make sure I got everything I want to show here. And then on my way out, basically, I saw this NES game when I first got there, and I was like, ooh, I want that for the collection. But I wanted to feel him out to see how he was with knocking prices down and stuff. And since he was giving me such a great deal on those other things, I figured I'd give it a shot. And then there was 2 Genesis games here that I like. I don't know why I didn't see them the couple of times I went, but this time I saw them and I had to get them. It's like the prices he had on these were already like fantastic, but he knocked even more off, and it was already a great deal. And all I asked was, what can you do for this? When I handed him stock, and he knocked like $10 off this whole thing. So this is the Blues Brothers for the NES. This is the one I first saw when I first got there. It is in mint condition. He had 20 on it, which is what it goes for on like price charting and eBay and stuff. So that's why I was a little hesitant at first, because I wanted to try to get it for less than that if I can. Collectors, you want to get the best deal. And then I saw this marked $16, which is already a great deal. Wonder Boy and Monster World. I've been playing the Wonder Boy games on the Switch lately, but this is like one of the original ones. There's some on the Master System, but this was the Genesis one here. So I mean, that $16. Oh my God, And then the price came off for this one, but I think this was like, I want to say it was $12. A little label worn, but man, Castle of Illusion, Mickey Mouse. Now this is going to be on the Genesis Classic that's coming out. But I have the World of Illusion. It's back there somewhere. So to have them both now is awesome. And then since I was grabbing that, I saw this and I was like, I heard it's not that great of a game, but being a kid from the 80s and stuff, I had to have it for the collection. It was Mad Max for the NES. Had it marked for $6, which I think is a good deal. But I basically handed him this and I said, what can you do? And he basically said like $10 less than what it would come to. So I was like, sold, He was such a great guy. I'm blanking on his name right now, but I actually, just so you know, I filmed this like almost a week after I went to this. But a few days ago, I went on his site and I ordered 3 more Genesis games because they were just a great deal, and they're already in the mail and on their way. I might get them tomorrow, actually. Maybe I'll put those in another pickup video. So that was the convention, the pickups from that. I think I got it all. So then I stopped at a chain store. Where'd that go? Ah, here we go. Called, shoot, what are they called? Oh, shoot, I'm blanking now. Let me find the receipt here. Oh, Game Exchange. which I'm sure a lot of you guys have some in your area or something. This is the closest one to me, and it's 2 hours away. So that's why I stopped and I would take a look. And they were having a deal. You buy like two games that are like, I think it's just you buy 2 games, and then you get a free one that's $7.95 or less. But it didn't include Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64. But it included everything else. So what I did was I picked out. This is one that's been on my wish list, so to speak, and it was Army Men Sarge's War. It's out on a couple of the different systems, but they had it there for the Xbox, so I grabbed it. It was for only $5.95. It's cheaper than what eBay's going for, the last I checked at least. And it's good condition. It's got the manual and everything. The disc is in perfect condition. So I can't wait to fire that up. I'm not sure if this one's Xbox One compatible or not. I'll have to check. Real quick, that's the little postcard from the convention. Again, it's backwards, so why am I wasting my time? So I got that, and then I found this is another game I've been searching for all over, and they had it there. And what's funny is then the next day or so I was on a GameStop, and then all of a sudden there it was. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But I finally found it. It was Heavenly Guardian for the Wii. This was talked about on a Metal Jesus video. So it's a 2-player co-op game. It looks pretty cool. I don't know if you can tell from there. It's picking it up good. I think it's kind of like a run and gun type of game with some interesting creatures and stuff. So I don't know. I might stream this. We'll check it out. Okay. But that's one that was on my wish list. So I got 2 of those. And then I had a heck of a time finding a game that I wanted to get that was $7.95 or less for the free. Which actually, to be honest, this one, because it was cheaper, it was the free one. But I wanted to take advantage of that buy 2 get 1 free. So then I looked at my list and I couldn't believe I didn't have this, because this is like one of my favorite movies. And a lot of people might think that's silly or ridiculous, and so I was surprised I didn't have the game. So I got Van Helsing for the PlayStation 2. Let me know in the comments if anyone's played this and is it worth my time or not. But I got it just because I love this movie, and so it's for the nostalgic purpose. It's complete. The disc is good. It even has the warranty card, and then the cash in to get a movie ticket to go see it. So that's pretty cool. The Heavenly Guardians, they got the manual. I think I showed it, I'm not sure, but it was complete as well, and they're awesome shape. I got they had a deal too, same kind of thing with movies, Blu-rays, DVDs, whatever. So I quickly looked through there, and I have these on DVD, but I figured I'd upgrade them to Blu-ray, and now I can sell my DVDs or give them away or something. But original Batman, come on, Michael Keaton, man, he's the Batman. Jack Nicholson, man, that's the best. So I got that, and then I got, because it's coming out with the new, I don't know if it's considered a reboot or not. I guess it is, because it's new actors and a new story. But I love these 2, and I got the 2 Hellboys with the Ron Perlman on Blu-ray. Again, I had these on DVD, but for like $5, $6 a piece, and I got 1 free. Figured I'd get them on Blu-ray. I've been craving to watch them again, and so instead of digging out the DVDs, I'll just watch the Blu-rays. And then again, the controller sickness took a hold, and I got this NES controller. It's a old wireless. Whoa, almost dropped it. Old wireless Acclaim controller. It was $10. I figured to make a neat video to test out, to see where wireless controllers have come. You know, this is infrared, so it's like line of sight. The controller's got to be inside of this adapter in order for it to pick it up. But it'd be neat to see it in action, and just for the collection, because I'm trying to collect all the weird Nintendo oddities and the peripherals I can find. And then I've always wanted a dog bone controller because I have a top loader system, but it didn't come with the dog bones. I bought it used years ago for $25 at a store. Now the thing goes for like $100. But I even kept the sticker on it. It still says $24.99. But it didn't come with dog bone. It came with like a regular NAS controller. So I've always been on the lookout for a dog bone controller, and I can never find one in the wild or anywhere. So, and they're always like $30-something, like on eBay or something. So they had one there, and it was marked $24.95. And when I went up to pay for these things, and I told them I wanted to look at the wireless controller, I said, "Oh, I was looking at the dog bone, but I can't bring myself to spend that much on an NES controller," I told him. And he goes, "Oh, you mean you have a dog bone?" And he went over and looked and dug it out of the case and brought it over. He goes, "Oh, yeah, this one's really beat up. It's all marked up, and the start button's kind of chewed up, like somebody gnawed on it or something." He said, "I'll give it to you for $15." And so I said, "Sold. I'll take it." I have a lot of third-party dog bone shaped controllers, but they're garbage. So I don't know. I'll see if the start button rubber could be replaced. I don't know if they're the same, but I haven't even tried it out yet. But here it is. I'll take the price thing off. You can see the start button is pretty chewed up there, and then I mean, let's look around the D-pad. It's pretty gnarly, but I mean, as long as it works, I don't care. You know, this will suffice until maybe I can come across another one cheaper. So then, let's see what else. Oh, so that was Game Exchange, and then I stopped because I was waiting for my movie because I went and saw Endgame at 10 o'clock at night. This was the only opening I could have. So I killed some time at the mall that was in the area, and there was a Toy Vault store in there, which I don't know how big of a chain that is, if you know what that is, but they sell a lot of toys, even vintage toys, new toys, and then retro video games too. And I came across a couple of Master System games. I got Enduro Racer for $5. That's like the Excite Bike for the Master System. And then I got Aztec Adventure for $8. Not complete. Case is a little, the part that holds the game is kind of worn out, but it's not complete. But it was only $8, and on eBay and other places I've seen this for sale, it was a lot more than that. So figured I'd grab it. Pixel Game Squad, Riff was talking about this game a while back, so that's why it was on my radar. So that was pretty much. Alright, so I just realized there's a sharp cut there because I was talking and realized I ran out of space on the SD card here. So I had to save that off, and I'm starting over again for the ending. So that was the end of the pickups for the convention and for that weekend. So if you want to comment down below any other pickups, you know, anything you liked out of the pickups, and anything that I picked up that you have played before and you think is worth my time or not. So if you want to see any more future pickups and future streams and VGM unboxings and other stuff, just like, subscribe, click the bell so you get notified of any new videos I post, and I'll see you guys around later.